We've got the legislative authority to call in the Supreme or the state troopers and bring these people in, right? I mean, and now that we've got 19 people who are facing the rest of their life in prison because they spoke out against an election. I mean, I told one senator, I said, listen, we've got to put our heads together and figure this out. We need to be taking action right now, because if we don't, our constituencies are going to be fighting it in the streets. Do you want a civil war? I don't want a civil war. I don't want to have to draw my rifle. I want to make this problem go away.
That was far-right Georgia State Senator Colton Moore, and he just became the second Georgia Republican official to call for bloodshed and civil war unless all charges against Donald Trump are immediately dropped. Moore joins local Republican district leader Candace Taylor in threatening a civil war if Fulton County dares to hold Trump accountable for his crimes, a position shared by national Republicans, including former presidential candidate Sarah Palin.
Do you have concern for the country as I do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think those who are conducting this travesty and creating this two-tier system of justice, I mean, I want to ask them, what the heck? Do you want us to be in civil war? Because that's what's going to happen. We're not going to keep putting up with this. And Eric, I like that you suggested that we need to get angry. We do need to rise up and take our country back.
And all of this right-wing hatred isn't coming out of nowhere. As Donald Trump's own lawyer made clear in a recent statement, he believes Trump was indicted because Trump was too mean to Hunter Biden. Republican leaders now sound an awful lot like their MAGA extremist base, threatening to draw their rifles and declare open war on the government unless the legal system bends to their demands. And while no one thinks they could actually win that war, they could certainly cause a lot of bloodshed along the way. Even Fox News meathead Jesse Waters got in on the action, cheerfully giving a platform to even more talk about civil war.
I would hope that people understand what time it is. I mean, we are in a cold civil war with the un-American left. They have decided that they will use the quote-unquote legal system as a weapon against political opponents.
So let's be clear. Republicans are just mask-off saying they don't believe the legal system applies to Donald Trump, and any effort to hold Trump or any Republican accountable is de facto an act of war against the Republic. That sure sounds like a way to excuse a lot of right-wing violence in the months to come. Because when you've been told by your own elected leaders that America is being undermined and the rule of law trampled on, that justifies some really extreme responses. Even Trump himself can't stop daydreaming about civil war. During his recent interview with Tucker Carlson, Trump waxed poetic about how beautiful January 6th was, and how amazing it must have been to be part of a domestic terror attack against the government.
Do you think we're moving towards civil war?
There's tremendous passion and there's tremendous love. January 6th was a very interesting day because they don't report it properly. People that were in that crowd that day, very small group of people, went down there, and then there are a lot of scenarios that we can talk about. But people in that crowd said it was the most beautiful day they've ever experienced. There was love in that crowd. There was love and unity. I have never seen such spirit and such passion and such love.
Yeah, there was unity, all right. The unity of belief that the United States needed to be toppled so that Donald Trump could overturn the election and stay in power. I mean, guys, if this is the stuff they say out loud, imagine what they say in private. But Trump also made sure to note that there was hatred in the crowd on January 6th, but not for the reason you might think.
And I've also never seen simultaneously and from the same people such hatred of what they've done to our country.
So do you think it's possible that there's open conflict? We seem to be moving towards something.
I don't know, because I don't know what it, I can say this. There's a level of passion that I've never seen. There's a level of hatred that I've never seen, and that's probably a bad combination.
This guy loves that he incited a mob, and if his lawyers weren't standing right over his shoulder, Trump would clearly take full credit for inspiring so many people to attack their own government. It's terrifying. And this guy could be president again. Republicans couldn't be clearer that they are done with democracy, and they're ready to win by any means necessary, even violence. America's toughest days are still ahead. And if you thought that was wild, check out this video, where a Georgia Republican elected official threatens bloodshed if Donald Trump is convicted.
And I hope and pray it gets resolved before we use guns.
And as always, leave a comment below so you can let me know what I should cover next.